Her kitchen is where the magic is made.
Hi there, welcome to my channel or welcome back. I'm Holly, your friendly neighborhood carnivore, and I'm so happy you could join me today. Today we're going to be making a very lean meal. Usually I'm higher fat, but every now and again when I'm wanting to really up that protein and be able to play with the fat with it not being in the food itself, I'm going to show you how I like to make my ground chicken. It doesn't have to be chicken. If you're not a fan of chicken, you could use turkey, you could use a lean ground beef, you could use ground venison. Oh, it's fantastic with ground venison. Ground bison, bison's pretty lean. So you don't have to stick with chicken. Just change your seasonings to complement the kind of meat that you're going to be using. But today, like I said, I will be using the chicken, and I'm just going to show you a real quick method of how I like to cook this up so that it is a high protein and a low fat meal, but it is going to be absolutely delicious. It's not going to be dry and bland. As always, I will have the recipe in the description along with links to any kind of kitchen utensils or ingredients that might be hard to find. So don't forget to check that out in the description. And if you're interested in seeing what I eat every day as a carnivore, I am a 3-year carnivore, and I post over on X at Carnivore Friend and at Instagram at Friendly Neighborhood Carnivore. If you just want to lurk around and see what I eat every day, or if you want to chit chat over there, I love chit chatting with you guys. Let's get cooking, and I cannot wait to show you how this is. We're going to start by adding our lean ground meat of choice into a skillet. You can either have it preheated or you can just toss it into a cold skillet the way I did here, and then set your heat to medium. Go ahead and break up the ground meat as much as you want. I like mine to be pretty crumbled. Go ahead and add a pinch of salt, and then a tablespoon of beef gelatin. I'm just going to spread it gently all over the top of the meat. While my meat is cooking, I'm going to get my herbs ready for the chicken. I'm using some French thyme and also some rosemary. I like to go ahead and crush these a bit using my mortar and pestle. This brings out the flavor of the dried herbs, but also since thyme and rosemary are pretty coarse and stem-like, this definitely helps with the texture of the herbs. Moving back over here to the stove where we're letting our meat cook, some of it's still a little bit pink, but I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle on some herbs, and we're just going to stir every few minutes. Once your meat is cooked and no longer pink, it's time to go ahead and add a little bit of water or broth. You should be adding a half of a cup here. You'll notice I only added about a quarter of a cup, and then you'll see I put another quarter of a cup later on. It's because I wasn't paying attention when I first measured it out. Once you've added your liquid, you're going to let this sit on the stove and simmer, stirring it occasionally. You just want your liquid to reduce to half. Once this has been reduced, you are ready to serve this up and enjoy. Okay, we have got our chicken all cooked up, and I am ready to give this a taste. Now you're probably thinking that was so stupid simple. Why did you even make a video of this? You know, it hardly qualifies as a recipe, so to speak. I will say, adding the beef gelatin to this, it does give it something extra. Instead of just having a soupy kind of brothy feel when you're eating it like a soup, the liquid that you have, because you had that gelatin in there, It has a better mouthfeel. It's got a better texture. It's just more of a sauce than just having a broth in here. As this cools off a bit, this liquid that is in it is going to thicken up a little bit and be a little bit more like a sauce. If you want the sauce to be thicker, just add an extra tablespoon of gelatin. Instead of doing 1 tablespoon, go with 2 tablespoons of gelatin. All you're doing is adding more protein in there, so that's not going to hurt anything. And let's give this a taste test. Okay. This is really good. Flavor almost reminds me of a chicken and dressing, you know, like how you would get chicken and dressing with gravy on top. That's what the flavor reminds me of. Now, the texture is not like that. Obviously, it's ground chicken, but it's really delicious. And I love the way the brothiness that's in it. It just has that little bit of a thicker, smoother texture than just having a plain broth. Absolutely delicious. If you want seasoning suggestions for the other types of proteins you might choose, here I've got the chicken and I went with rosemary and thyme. If you were to go with turkey, which ground turkey is really not my favorite, but if I were to go that route, I would probably use some thyme and some sage. That would kind of bring you more of like a Thanksgiving kind of vibe with it. If you were to use the ruminant meats, ground beef, ground venison, ground bison, ground lamb, any of those, I would probably go with more of like a steak seasoning or a garlic pepper kind of profile to add in there, all of which would be delicious. If you stray away from the seasonings and you're just a salt person, just season it with some salt. I'm telling you, it is the texture that beef gelatin gives the liquid in it that is what really changes this up. And this is going to be just as good with salt as it is with my other little bits of spices. I didn't add much. And if you're on Lion Diet, you very obviously can have this on Lion Diet by using the ruminant meats. The beef gelatin is Lion Diet friendly, some salt and some water or some beef, lamb, or bison bone broth. That would absolutely work for the Lion Diet. I hope you guys will try this out. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. It's just a very simple way to fix a higher protein meal and not have the added fat in it, which a lot of times with the higher protein and the lower fat, it's hard to have something that's not just dry. So I hope this works out for you guys if that's what you're looking for. Make sure you leave me a like if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe so you know what we will be cooking up next time in the kitchen. And always leave me a comment. I love chit-chatting with you guys in the comments. And as I said earlier, you can find me over on X or on Instagram. On X, I am at Carnivore Friend, and on Instagram, I am at Friendly Neighborhood Carnivore, and I would love to see you guys over there as well. All right, guys, I'm gonna go finish off this yummy bowl of chicken, and until next time, bye.
She's the friendly neighborhood carnivore with a talent for cooking up a meaty uproar. From juicy steaks to sizzling ribs galore, she'll have you coming back for more. Fellas, smash that like button. She's the carnivore cooking queen. On your screen, bringing the meaty scene. Come on over and join the team for a